Good evening and welcome to Scotland. We've already had an action-packed day, but now it's time for the lead finals. I'm Charlie Bosco, joined as ever in Europe by Mike Langley, and today very special guest Kai Leitner, and we're live in Edinburgh. The capital of Scotland since the 15th century, Edinburgh is home to 500,000 people, but despite its small size relative to other British cities, it is the second most popular tourist destination in the UK behind London, and it's easy to see why, with culture, history and wonderful architecture around every corner. Our venue is the Edinburgh International Climbing Arena, and with its combination of indoor and outdoor climbing, it is a truly unique location for an IFSC World Cup. And apologies that we're slightly late coming to you this evening. Because of the paraclimbing, the route setters weren't able to work, and that meant they got slightly behind schedule. The routes are on the wall, though, and what an extraordinary pair of routes they are. Kai, the women's route, absolutely bizarre. Starts with just volumes, and you said a really interesting thing before we came on air. You said it has to be easier than it looks.
Yeah. As a competitor, when you read the climb, you just, especially in finals, you assume that the route setters don't want you to fall early. And so, because it looks so hard with the volumes, I'm sure when the athletes get up close, there's going to be an obvious method, or the volume's going to be like better than they look from far away, because it's too low to the ground. So I'm pretty sure they have to be really positive.
And Mike, the men's route, a pretty interesting one as well, up the grey, pink volumes and the yellow holds.
Yeah, I think the route sets, to be fair, were very, very short time just before this final started. We've just seen Jan Genu, one of the route setters, just come flying past us, sweating, covered in chalk. They've done a fantastic job in terms of the aesthetics of the routes. Time's going to tell how they work out in terms of the quality. I think they've done a pretty good job this weekend, all in all, so no doubt it's going to work out really well. Yeah, really, really good looking routes. The men are going to be on the left-hand side of the wall here, and like we said, the women are going to be on the right-hand side. You can see there's the first opportunity to have a look at the women's route. So the women's route has actually got 17 volumes before the first coloured purple hold. It's pretty ridiculous, and it's created a really interesting buzz here in Edinburgh. Everybody sort of walked up to it, and I think because the route setters were quite late finishing, the route setters took their cherry picker, they parked it off, and everyone was like, well, what are you doing? You know, why aren't you putting holds on the wall? No, that's it, it's done. You can see it there. Yeah, there's volumes on top of volumes, and like Kai was saying, the route setters don't want people to be falling early, so no doubt there is a clean method through there somewhere. And you can see there, that's the right-hand hold, the purple hold. That is the first hold that the climbers get to that's of use, I would like to say.
That familiar climbing shout of "there's no holds" is actually true for the first 17 moves or so on the women's route. But yeah, it should be fascinating, really interesting looking route. So many people in the venue saying to each other, well, they haven't even started on the women's route. I think a few people went to get a drink without realising that that is the women's route. It should be fascinating, and as Kai said, must be easier than it looks, because it looks absolutely desperate. This then the upper section, so the purple holds then lead into the two quite distinctive, enormous half-circle volumes that are just about to appear on the shot now, that have been up on the wall for both days of the lead competition so far. Those two volumes there, and then from there it's just a couple more moves to the top.
Yeah, if you caught the qualifying highlights from yesterday, you would have seen that the men's qualifying routes, one of those went through that section of volume, so a real compression set of climbing. First have an opportunity to little pan back and have a look at the men's route then. On the left-hand side, yellow volumes mostly interspersed with sort of a pinky purple, a few grey volumes towards the top. Yeah, super funky route once again.
Kai, if you were in this final, which you weren't too far from being, if you walked out and had a look at that men's route, what would you be thinking?
The first move would be a little scary, because there's not a foothold actually on the first section. It's just a giant purple volume that's at, height level, and so you're gonna have to, I'm assuming, grab both sides, get your heel hook on the yellow hold on the side of it, and cross, which is gonna make especially a few athletes nervous. It would make me a little bit nervous, but I'm sure, like, being in the moment, I don't expect it to be a huge issue because, again, the setters do not want to make the athletes fall at the first move. They want them to go further because it's all about the show.
Yeah, I think the pressure's on a little bit, especially in terms of the women's route earlier. Obviously, we got a pretty clean result. There was one tie that had to be sorted out. Jessie Piltz making it through on countback from the qualifiers. All the other female athletes got through what was move 17 plus. That caused all sorts of issues earlier, and that was really low down on the route, but slightly disappointing earlier. But when those climbers got through that section, the route really opened up, and it was a really cool set of moves later on. A very, very hard route for the semi-finals, and only really Janja Garnbret really getting anywhere on the wall, came close to the head wall at the top.
Yeah, it was a very impressive show. She's amazing.
And Kai, we were actually talking about Janja before we came on air, and I just want to say, what do you think? Can anybody beat her here tonight?
In the shape that she's in right now, it's going to be tough. Like, there's not many athletes out there that have a shot at beating her unless she makes a mistake.
Yeah, she went through from the semi-final with a score of 42 plus. It was just Jane Kim behind her was with 36 plus. So yeah, real show of force from Janja.
It is competition, so anything can happen. But as long as she, stays focused, she should be fine.
And there is your start list. Out first would be Jessica Piltz. Seems to have a monopoly on 5th this year, looking to move up. She qualified in 8th, just about made it through. Hannah Slaney, amazing result for her. Climbs in the final in her home World Cup. She'll be joined by Tina Johnson-Hafsas, Julia Shonali, Anna Verhoeven, Ashima Shiraishi, Jane Kim and Janja Garnbret. Really interesting combination of veterans, climbers like Hannah Slaney who are just over the moon and climbing without any pressure, and then of course Ashima, that still slightly unknown element at this level of competition. Romany will be first out in the men's competition. Rats Rudiger, Sean Bailey, Roman de Grunge, Tomas Johannes, Dominik Skofic, Jakob Schubert and Stefano Ghisolfi. Again, very interesting men's final. Max Rudiger back there again after a wonderful performance in Arco just under a month ago.
Yeah, it's really good to see Domin back on form. You interviewed him during the semi-final stream. He's just all smiles. He looks so happy that he's put in a good show. And interestingly enough, Hannah Slaney, you're talking about the difference between competitors. Some are seasoned competitors, some new people in there. Hannah Slaney, her second ever Senior World Cup, and to get into a finals in your second ever Senior World Cup is completely phenomenal, really.
Yeah, I was very happy to see her in the final. I was with her in Innsbruck for the Youth World Championships, and she performed well there too. And after the competition, I saw her upstairs, and she was absolutely excited. So
there you can see the world rankings as they stand. Roman de Grunge in first place in the men's competition, having the season of his life. Will extend that lead over Marcello Bombardi because Marcello not in the final here. So Roman de Grunge already guaranteed to push himself out at least a bit further ahead of Marcello Bombardi. But as for those below him, could all change. Kachiro Koranaga also not into the final this evening. Stefano Ghisolfi 4th in the world rankings. He's climbing though. He will climb last. He topped the route in the semi-finals, as did Jakob Schubert, and interestingly enough, both of them topped both of the qualifying routes as well. If they have a tied score in the final, it will come down to time if they're in a podium position.
One thing to note as well, we were talking about this earlier, Kai, is that no Japanese athletes in the final. That is not too often you get to see that. What do you think's happened there this weekend? How comes we've not got too many Japanese here?
I don't know. I mean, well, there's not so many Japanese women, I think. I think there's like Risa Oda and such. I know for a fact that the men's field is just, this year it's been a shuffle. No one's been that consistently in finals, and so you just never know in the men's field. Like the same people who made finals one weekend could be, all of them could be out. I think that actually happened. No one from the first final was in the second final this year.
One thing to note as well, that some of the Japanese athletes have been competing at the Asian Championships this week as well. So there's so many competitions these days, it's hard to know where to send who. But we're very close to the start of the competition here. Final in Edinburgh.
This is the only place to be this weekend.
Surely.
Ratho in Edinburgh. And the finals will run concurrently, so we'll be men and women climbing at the same time. So Ramane is out onto the men's route. Jessie Piltz is out onto the women's route. Ramane, I suspect, will not be enjoying the look of this first move. We've got to hug that volume. And as Kai rightly predicted, I will hold my words for now. I was about to say seemingly untroubled, but it is actually a very tricky start and a very high-risk move, especially for someone the size of Ramone.
I wonder if he can flip his... Oh, never mind. He's got it.
Yeah, he was just really stretched there. He couldn't find his right hand onto the good bit of hold. All the chalks at the top of it, and he couldn't quite reach it. Heart in your mouth there. Start for the competition, but it's all good. He's back.
Yeah, certainly was. Jessie Piltz, meanwhile, she's out onto the women's route. Let's have a look. First look at this volume section.
Yes, he's only really just got established on the volume section, as Charlie says, on the bottom right of your screen. It seems to have found a good kind of bridging position. I think the wall this steep has to be something like that to get through that early section. We thought it was really hard to read, but Jessie Piltz seems to have had no issues so far getting through that section. And that volume that she's on at the moment is absolutely massive, half hexagon. No such issues through that bit of the volume. It's coming up through the next set of quick draws where it really starts to get interesting.
Just a quick one on the rankings, by the way. We've got no ties in the women's all the way through. So none of the climbers were tied in the semis and tied in the qualifiers. It's only Jakob Schubert and Stefano Ghisolfi who may be keeping a close eye on the clock.
Ramone then, a really interesting climber, because it's one of the climbers who has had such an incredible career in climbing, and so great to see him back in the finals. For Kai, someone like yourself, such a young climber, is it inspirational to see Ramone still going strong?
Oh, absolutely. He's an absolute legend in the sport, and inspiration in the sense that we can know that our careers can be long. I think he's one of the few athletes in this competition in his 30s, and he made the final, which I'm happy to see him in. So it's an absolute privilege to climb with him, and excited to see him climb.
Just on the bottom right of your screen, Jessie Piltz, and she's actually gone off the panel join there with both hands. Route setters have used that quite consistently throughout the weekend. The wall here is articulated, which means it's got a big hinge effectively, 1/3 height, and now both climbers are pretty much neck and neck on the wall. Very slow starts to these routes from both climbers. Gives you an indicator of probably of the difficult. Jessie Piltz, big smash up with the left hand, holds the swing nicely.
I believe I saw 2 crimps on the panel that are in between the grey and the orange wall.
Yeah, they were added by the route setters just amongst the volumes. They're absolutely minute, might just be enough to get you up.
Yeah, holds 11 and 12. I think they've been added as thumb catches to that panel joint just to improve it slightly. And Jessie Piltz now, see the spotlight on her, moving up to the first purple hold of the route.
I've just got my eye on the venue clock. When we've got 2 climbers on the wall, we can't put the clock on the screen because it just gets confusing as we swap between the big screen and the small screen, but I'll keep you up to date if time is relevant. Ramone has 2 minutes 50 left. Jessie Piltz obviously took a bit longer getting on the wall. She's got 3 minutes 10 left.
Ramone just cutting loose and really trying to pump his left hand a little bit on that volume. Big section of flat hold volumes coming up. 2 or 3 of them in a row, quite a physical section, very modern style, the big flat volumes. Jessie Piltz on a bit more conventional climbing, eyeballing the next move, good work. Seems to be finding herself a relatively comfortable position to take a bit of a rest. Ramone also finding a position to gather a bit of a chort, but you've got a feeling both of these climbers are not in the most comfortable positions. I don't think they'll be resting very long as Jessie Piltz moves straight out of it.
So both climbers setting a relatively slow pace, but not massively troubled thus far. Interesting final here in Edinburgh. Jessie Piltz in the spotlight, you can see her there. She's got a bit more time left than Ramone of her 6 minutes and is higher on the wall.
Really good burn here from Jessie Piltz. 49 is the score for the top hold. She's currently sitting around hold 27 on the first volume there. It's a really good burn, but Jessie Piltz is one of those climbers who's had a lot of very good results, been consistently 5th this year, so yeah, this is potentially what we expect from Jessie. Even Ramone comes off, unfortunately. Good burn from him, halfway up the wall.
Somewhere around the whole 25 mark out of about 52. We'll keep an eye on Jessie Piltz for now. There you can see what she's up against. Crowd getting behind her. She's really starting to battle now, Jessie Piltz.
You can just see in her body language, she looks really comfortable up there, very relaxed, climbing well. This is good to see from Jessie. See the bottom of that next, sorry, Charlie.
No, I was going to say she's been very consistent this year. Third in the European Championships and fifth. Seventh last time out in Arco.
Jessie Piltz that moves into this super steep roof section, really burly through this section of volumes. Just got to get the rope outside of the body there, just to get the clip, and heading under the volume, then into a huge set of compression moves. Jessie Piltz starting to look a bit tired in the right hand. Big physical moves now. This is an incredible start for the competition for Jessie Piltz. She's all the way up into move 35. It's a little bit hard to tell with so many little holds onto that volume.
Yeah, Jessica Piltz has always been a good fighter on the wall, so I expect her to go really far.
She's actually getting very close to running out of time here. 40 seconds she actually has. So you just see her check her watch there.
Yeah, needs to be really careful with time here, Jessie Piltz, but she's absolutely flying. Couple more moves and she'll be on to the top hold. You can see just at the top of your screen the two black volumes. If she'd got to them, she'd have been one move from the top, but that's a superb start for her for the final, excuse me.
Oh, I have to say I'm nervous now because that was an incredible burn. It's really hard to know sometimes when the first climber's out. The pressure is really off of them. We're going to have another look at just what went wrong at the top there, but what I was saying, first climber out of 8 gets really high on the wall. Is it too easy? What do you think, Kai?
I think that when you have a caliber of athlete as Jessica Piltz as your first athlete, it's not a proper gauge for the final, considering she could easily be on the podium and no one would be surprised. So I think that it was a really great climb for her, and I hope that the other athletes have good luck on the climb too.
Just having another look at Jessie Piltz in that top section. Fantastic climb from her. Sometimes, like we're saying, first climber out, the pressure is off a little bit. You're potentially not expected to win, even though there's a potential, and you can just go out there and just give it everything you got with no fear.
Absolutely.
Max Rudiger out then from Austria on the men's competition, gets through that first mover. Had to try quite hard to get through there, but no issues in the end. And as soon as we hear the crowd go wild, that was because Hannah Slaney will be joining us in her second ever IFSC competition in the seniors, and the first time ever that she's made a finals. A really great moment for Hannah Slaney and her fans and family. Max Rudiger then had a fantastic competition in Arco, got to the podium. What can he do? So I'm sure you heard it there. Crowd goes wild for Hannah Slaney.
Yeah, it's great seeing the youth athletes break out into the open category, especially considering this is her second World Cup. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she's had a staggering summer, really. Training hard, been away from the UK for a lot of the time, training in Innsbruck, working a lot with her coach, Ellie Howard.
Yeah, that facility is absolutely amazing to train in. So
Max, one of two Austrians in the final in the men's competition. Jakob Schubert, one of the stars of the semi-final round. He'll be coming out later on, one of two climbers to find a top. So I'm sure Team Austria is feeling positive as they go into this final round, especially with Jessie Piltz's performance on the first female out on the women's route.
yeah, I think Max took his first medal in a World Cup at the last World Cup in Arco,
yep,
a bronze medal. So I'm sure he's had quite a big boost of confidence from that.
Yeah, you can see Hannah Slaney's making her way through those bottom volumes, heading up to the two crimps, points 11 and 12. Goes straight through, doesn't use one of them, just locks off. Hannah Slaney's really known for that lock-off power, so solid. Max starting to fight a little bit through this section. I think the burn from Ramon was really impressive there, actually. First climber out did really well. Score of 24 plus. Max takes a new high point then. Roman was 24 plus. Hannah gets a good cheer from the crowd. She makes a big move out and left onto the volumes. And Max is really starting to fight now. He needs to get the quick draw. You can see he's just scuffling his feet, trying to find something. That looks like a much better position though. Currently on hole 33. Plenty moves still ahead of him. 52 is the top.
Yeah, Max full of confidence after an amazing weekend in Arco for him. Now it's really beginning to kick in though. For the fatigue of 2 days of competition, still finding Something of a rest position though. Hannah Slaney, meanwhile, bottom right of your screen, heading up and right, pacing along that volume. Plenty of time left for both climbers, nearly 4 minutes for Hannah, 2:45 for Max. His compatriot Jakob Schubert will be out later on. His compatriot Jesse Piltz has already been out. But in plenty of encouragement, Max, crimping hard, goes up with the left, tries to match with the right, just tried to move that right hand up, and he kicks the wall in frustration. Perhaps felt he had a bit more in the tank there.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was an amazing performance. Yeah, he did great. The section he was in looks like there wasn't much give on any of those holds. Nowhere to really shake out.
Hannah Slaney putting on a fine show then, the only British climber into the finals, and really fighting hard now. She's really putting her heart on her sleeve here, just giving absolutely everything to this route. You see her just focusing so hard there, breathing hard, trying hard.
The entire crowd is behind her.
So much support here for Hannah. Every move being cheered by the big crowd here in Scotland. Nearly said Innsbruck there. That was all last week. Goes again. That's good work. Hannah Slaney really trying hard now. She's up to move 32. Jessie Pills is sitting at the top of the pile at the moment with one climber out with 42. Keeps fighting now. It's a really big burn. Hannah Slaney 2/3 of the way up the wall. Still quite a lot to do. Pushing into the top section. Oh, it's a really good fight. Kai, I'm sure she'll be happy with that.
Absolutely.
Let's have another look at what went wrong for Max then. I think by this stage in the route, he was completely powered out. He really put on a good show. He's trying to match that performance in Arco, and time's going to tell with another 6 climbers to come after Max, whether that will be enough to get him onto a podium. Can he better his bronze? A lot of big names still to come, plus Dominik Skofic, Jakob Schubert and Stefano Ghisolfi are all touching the top of the holds in the semi-final route. The end of Hannah, big move out to left, just came short of the hold.
So you can see there it's all Austria on the winners' chairs. This is something that the organisers have brought to Edinburgh, that the people leading the standings sit in those chairs. Quite a cool idea. Somewhat interferes with our live interview schedule, but I can forgive that. So Sean Bailey is out, the newly short-haired Sean Bailey. Have Tina Johnson-Hafsas out shortly on the women's route. Just hear a ripple of applause there. I think Tina's about to make her way out onto the stage. And there is Sean Bailey with the 2 current winners just behind him.
Go Sean!
Kai, obviously you're in Team USA setup. What's it like seeing a fellow American in the finals? Obviously got Ashima to come later on as well.
It's great. Having more athletes compete at the World Cup level has been amazing, and having them in the final really, I think it really shows that our program and our athletes as a country are becoming stronger and being well represented at the world level.
Yeah, I think the World Youth Championships is something to take away of that. A lot of positive to take away from that from Team USA as well. Lots of medals flown back to America after that one as well.
Yeah, it was an amazing championships for us.
So Tina Johnson-Hafsas from Norway makes another finals. So we have a look at Sean Bailey just stretching down desperately here, closes his eyes as he reaches down to get the next picture, fires up to that hold. That's 21. So both climbers just making progress through the bottom of the wall. Spotlights on here in Edinburgh, really putting on a good show this weekend. And that bottom section on the women's route, we were a bit nervous about that before the competition, as were most of the 500 to 600 people who are sitting here, but it seems to be that nobody's had any real problems getting through that, and that's good. It's a really good show that the route setters put on there at the bottom of the route, and what's going to be interesting about this women's route is what's going to happen at the top, because we've already seen both the first two climbers out, Jessie Piltz and Hannah Slaney, push really high into the wall. I think this is going to be a really close run thing.
Yeah, the first few moves was definitely interesting, but I'm glad that it's working out for the athletes. It looks great.
Sean Bailey having a bit of a fight here. It's just so physical, this men's route. Talking to one of the route setters, Jan Genu, just before the final started, saying super burly. It's like a wrestling match, he described it as. It seems to be that so far in the route. Sean Bailey trying to manufacture a few knee bars in these volumes. Luckily got the trousers on to save the skin on the knees a little bit.
Yeah, I was wondering what the intended sequence was for these two volumes, because it looked really, really odd.
I think that's the thing. It's like the route setter said, wrestling. I think it's so hard to read from the ground. They've just got to get up there and feel it out.
Interesting on the women's route as well. It goes to show these route setters, they know what they're doing. When you first look at it, you wonder how it could be climbed, and yet they seem to have got it right. The climbers are figuring it out. This move that Tina Johnson-Hafsas is on right now, slightly high risk, and that's why. It's that big move up to the left, and Jan Genu, one of our route setting teams, said that your right hand will cut off as you go. Meanwhile, Sean Bailey is also off.
Good performance though from Sean. That'd be very close to a high point, if not a high point.
That's definitely the high point.
Takes a round of applause. Yeah, hold 39. Max Rudiger was down at hold 37, so good burn early from Sean Bailey there. I mean, will it be enough? Time's going to tell. A lot of very big hitters still to come. Let's have another look then. This is where Tina Johnson-Hafsas came undone, unfortunately. Big move out to the left. You could see that it was the left foot that went, didn't have anything to stop that rotation. We can see her just kicking her heels at the end as she come down, super frustrated.
So far, it's our only casualty on the volumes. I hope that trend doesn't continue.
Okay, we're very pleased to say we can be joined by Hannah Slaney from Team GB.
Hannah, fantastic effort. What was your experience of a first World Cup final like?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I'm so happy that I was able to give it my all, and I'm really pleased.
And you nearly made it to the top of the route. How was the route?
I know it's the highest I've actually gotten all weekend. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was quite worried about the start, just because it was like volumes, but it was actually really good fun, and yeah.
And the section through the volumes, when we first looked at it, it almost looks impossible. How does it climb?
Yeah, I mean, maybe easier than it looks, well, for me anyway, but I was quite nervous about it.
Well, hey, congratulations. It was fantastic to watch you, and the crowd loved it as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear from Hannah there. She's obviously so excited. That was a brilliant interview. Julia Shonali then joins us in the women's competition, and let's hope she doesn't come unstuck as Tina Johnson-Hafsas did through this next section. It was not this bit, but the move slightly further up. Like I said, the first casualty in that section, and out next, very excited, Ramon de Grunge. Fantastic 2017 for him. Already a couple of gold medals to his name this season, and yeah, be really interesting to see. A great burn from Sean Bailey there up at around hold 39, heading towards 40. 52 still to go, so the men's route looks like it's pitched just right at the moment. Time's going to tell on the women's route. There you can see the scores just coming across the top of your screen. Here's Jessie Piltz, who's leading the way at the moment with hold 42. Sean Bailey after that burn from his, great effort from him, 39 plus. Kai, what do you think, 39 plus in the men's competition? Can we get more than that?
Only time will tell. It's a very hard-looking men's route, and so it's just who can fight for the longest is the name of the game.
Well, let's have a look at Julia Shonali. I was just saying about this big move to the left. The route setters say that your right hand comes off as you go for it, so the hold you're going for is pretty good, but we've just lost Tina Johnson-Hafsas on that move, but Julia Shonali, no problems at all. Romain de Grunge on the men's route as well. The two French climbers just about level with each other on the wall. So both climbers of Team France on pretty much the same part of the wall. It's where the wall hinges. It's an articulated wall here in Edinburgh. It can be can be tilted to whatever angle the route setters choose. Both climbers just at the join now. Roman, he's got 4 minutes 40 left on the clock, 3:40 left for Julia Shonali. Roman de Grunge absolutely flying this season. He is the stereotypical good wine. He gets better with age. He just seems to be improving, and this year he's looked absolutely the best, certainly, that I've ever seen him from working on and watching the IFSC streams. Very much the man to beat right now, but wasn't in the semi-finals.
I think the psychology of Julia Shonali is going to be really interesting here. She's going to have known that there was really big cheers from the crowd for both Jessie Piltz and Hannah Slaney, so she's going to have known, looking at the time as well, how long it's taken for her turn to come round, that they're going to put on a really, really good burn on these routes. So she's going to have to give it everything she's got now. The pressure's really on here. She wants to progress towards the podium. Yeah, 4 climbers still to come after her.
I think it's amazing the fact that we have our world number 1 in his 30s. It's crazy.
He is the Roger Federer of climbing.
Absolutely.
And looking in control here. He's obviously known for his extraordinary crimping strength, Roman de Grunge. He's going to need all of that here. And looks relatively comfortable on these moves here. Heading up towards the angle, steepening.
Yeah, that's hole 39, looking good on it as well. That was Sean Bailey's high point. Yes, new high point here from Roman de Grunge into hold 40. This is a really good burn. Good angle of Team France on the wall there. Neck and neck on the wall. Roman de Grunge, we're pushing into the really steep section now, same as Julia Shonali. Fights his way through this really 3D section here, Roman. Works out the sequence really, really well. This is fantastic climbing from Roman. This is going to be super interesting now. The winner from Campitello, the European Championships, winner in Villars, Villa in Briançon. Can Roman de Grunge find a top and really, really set the bar high here?
Yeah, it looked like he's still got something left. The way he just smoothly rotated his body over to the left. You can see his cheeks beginning to puff. He's really fighting here, Roman de Grunge. But he is close to the top, 3 or 4 moves to go. Comes through with the left hand. Needs to get that quick draw clipped, or does he? He's out of there, but Roman de Grunge, superb effort. Raises his hands to the crowd as if to say, I could have done no more. What more can Julia Shonali do? All go here in Edinburgh. She's working her way around these enormous black volumes. They're covered in small holes. He's just figuring out the sequence, and Julia Shonali doesn't quite figure it out, but again, a superb effort. Team France, 2 great climbs in the space of 2 minutes.
Yeah, Julia Shonali, we'll go back to that just to see Roman. That just a really flat edge that he's got there. He's got to hit that, then match it, and the route setters have put it right on the edge of the panel joint, so it really bites into the back of the fingers. This was Julia Shonali. That'll put her, I believe, into a provisional 2nd position just behind Jessie Piltz, and a really good fight. And it looks like the route really kind of builds momentum at that point there, around hold 42 of 49.
Kai, I just wanted to ask you a question, actually, following up something that we touched on then, the timing in isolation. When you're in isolation, do you pay much attention to how long each climber's been out for?
No, we usually do, we kind of estimate roughly how long the athletes take, which is usually 2 to 3 minutes. And we will, by that time, we'll be able to, kind of estimate when we'll go on the wall. And after that, we schedule our warm-up to that. So usually we don't even notice. I mean, obviously, if, the lady comes back and tells us that we have to climb, really soon, we'll know that an athlete fell really low, which is unfortunate. But
you're not sitting there timing, okay, that guy was on the wall for this long and he was on the wall for that long. You just worry about yourself.
Yeah, definitely not. When you're about to go out on the wall, you have to be in your own zone.
Yeah, because often as observers, we're often guilty of maybe over-analysing it and thinking that you guys are sitting there behind the wall with a stopwatch and calculating what people are doing.
Yeah, definitely not.
So Anna Verhoeven out, onto the wall. Had a great start to the season. Been climbing well outdoors as well. First ascent of what is believed to be a 9A+ in the south of France.
I think that makes her the 2nd woman to ever do 9A+, right?
Believe it does.
Yeah, she'll be looking to redeem herself slightly for all by her standards, a slightly disappointing Arco round The last competition out, 6th there for her. Before that, it was so many podiums, it's not even worth reading them off. She's so consistent, it's unreal.
Won the World Games earlier this year, won the European Championships earlier this year, and won the last World Cup of 2016. As I say, didn't have the best of semi-final rounds, but did enough to make it. I've often seen countback be absolutely key at this level, particularly in women's lead.
Yeah, it was quite
so she'll need to do her climbing, do the talking in the final.
Yeah, if you guys saw it at home, I mean, you can see it was a slightly strange semi-final route in many ways with the women, losing so many key athletes really low down the route, either around hold 13 or 17 of, I think it was 47 in that round. So many holds. Just as Ramon de Grunge unties, and it's all eyes on Anak Verhoeven. Gets onto that crimp now. You can see her just crimping it down. Interestingly, Hannah Slaney went to that first hold, which is the right of the two there, and straight up to the next volume. Anak Verhoeven choosing to use both holds, taking a moment, taking on a bit of chalk. She lines up this next big move that's really quite easy to slip off.
Yeah, she'll go up with the right hand up to there, and then she'll go off to the left, and at that point the right hand will almost certainly come off. You can see the effect of the music on our wall-mounted camera doing some shaking. There we see it. So she'll go up to that volume on a volume up and to the left.
This is the move that Tina Johnson-Hafstad then fell off. Anak Verhoeven just lining up. She's got to be brave. She's got to commit to this move. No point trying to go slowly.
It's not great, that right hand hold, but she's managing to manufacture a rest off it by getting her hips nice and close into the wall, but she'll have to commit, and there she goes, and just about manages to keep the right hand on. That's one of the most controlled ways of doing that move that we've seen.
That was perfect calculation. That's what you see from Anak Verhoeven. She knew exactly what she needed to do, just lined it up, got it right, set it perfectly, got the chalk on board just before, and then fired it off and got it absolutely sweet. Tomo Duenas then in the men's competition, he starts his fight through the pink volumes, through the half circles, quarter circles I should say really. Great atmosphere here in Edinburgh. First time Britain's host a lead World Cup for 14 years I believe it was. Kai, were you even climbing back then?
No, I'm only 18.
You're still probably 6 foot tall at that age.
So people think.
Anak Verhoeven just struggling a little bit here. She's just struggling with the momentum out onto the right hand side. Just taking an opportunity just to check herself, see what the sequence is. She's got to push out, she's got to push hard. That she's going off on the left hand side. It's an undercut volume, so she's finding it hard just to find the hand position. Just checks again now, has just got to push it out with a lot of momentum. Anak Verhoeven looks like she's trying to push it out slowly and does well. Incredible strength, ends up going using the volume on the underside as a thumb catch. You do wonder if that's going to take a lot of endurance out the arms of Anak Verhoeven going on later on to this route. Interesting start for the route here really for Anak. Been quite steady, 2 minutes 10 seconds only remaining. She's got a lot of work to do.
Oh.
She's down by hold 20 at the moment. Like I said, with just 2 minutes left, Anak Verhoeven's got to get her skates on here, and she probably knows it. Big move up now. Seems to have just realised the situation and just hit the turbo a little bit.
Yeah, really thinks about her climbing, tries to set the correct pace for the route. She's certainly behind time as it is now, but hopefully has burned minimal energy up until now and can just absolutely fly through this steeper section.
It's Jessie Piltz who's currently still sitting in the winner's chair in the women's competition then. Anak Verhoeven will be hunting her down with everything she's got, but she's very short on time with 1 minute 30 left. Will it be enough?
Yeah, she, as Mike said, needs to get a move on here. Tarsuan on the left, 3 minutes left for him. He's at the same point on the wall as Anak Verhoeven, albeit on very different routes, but Anak just over a minute left. She might have timed this to perfection. I think she's going to be quite short of time. She might have got it about right. She's going to need to keep up the pace that we've seen over the last minute though. She'll need to maintain that.
Up into hold
Again.
33 then.
Yeah, still 10 or so moves short. And again, chose to drop down, chalk up, rest, have a bit of a think, and then the scoring gets very complicated around these black volumes. There's all sorts of tiny holes. We've been given a route map and there's just numbers all over it around here. The judges will really have their work cut out, and Anna Verhoeven's got her work cut out as well. She is fighting hard through these volumes. Goes up with the left hand, gets the right toe hook in.
Only
Doesn't look
18
as if she's
seconds left.
amazingly comfortable with this method, but it works perfectly. Got both toes involved. Now she goes again. Anna Verhoeven really fighting and off in Edinburgh. Tarsuan off at exactly the same time almost. We'll update the scores when we get them.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Jessie Piltz is going to continue sitting in the winner's chair. I'm not even sure if it was enough to get past Julia Shonali. It might have been a score of around 40 there for Anna Verhoeven. Time's going to tell. Like I say, the route map is really tricky because it's a black holds on a black volume in the dark. That's a really, really interesting route there. Kai, you can't help but think Anak, she slowed down a couple of times on that route and she had that trouble with the move going out on the right hand side. You've got to think that she burnt a lot of time and a lot of energy on that section.
Oh, definitely. I know she'll be a bit disappointed in her performance because she knows she could have gone further, and the biggest reason probably for her mistake was because she had to rush because she only had 10 seconds left when she came off the wall. So we'll see where that puts her by the end of the competition.
So just as the climbers are down on the mat, we have an opportunity to have an interview with Team USA climber Sean Bailey.
Sean, great efforts on the route. Happy with your performance?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What was the route like? Looks pretty physical, pretty burly.
Yeah, I'd say it's really crazy. One of the crazier styles I've seen, I think. Just so many like macros on the wall and really not obvious how to climb it. Like feature climbing and just boulder problem after boulder problem, so it's pretty cool.
Did you read it correctly during observation, or did it climb completely differently to what you expected?
I don't even know if there was a correct necessarily. Like some of those sequences, there's just so many good options that there's a bunch of ways to do it. Like I think I've already seen, a couple of those sequences go 3 different ways. So yeah, I think I read it as well as I could and executed the way I wanted to.
And just at the end there, it was just pure fatigue. You said when I spoke to you a second ago, I was tired.
Yeah, tired. Like it's not the best I felt in the season, but I think I kind of did the best with what I had, and I got tired and I fought, so it's all you can really ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Great performance, thanks man.
Cool, thank you.
So the competition continues then. Third from last climber out, Domin Skopic, who had his hand on the semi-final finish hold. First climber out in the women's perfectly timed event here so far. Ashima Shiraishi is out in the women's competition. Ashima just really taking the maximum time she can before pulling on at the bottom of the wall. So it's just when climbers like Domin, and especially Ashima, with so young and so interesting in her career, just the arena here, Kai, just seems to get a bit of tension around it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous right now watching her climb. But definitely, she's just only her second World Cup, but she's already made finals in Arco, and she qualified 3rd in the medal position into this final. And so we're definitely hoping that she can perform her best, and we'll see where that puts her. And Domin's kind of had, not the best of luck this year with, well, for his standard at least, with making the finals. So I'm happy to see him in this one.
Yeah, Domin, the overall winner last year in the Lead World Cup, comes out in 3rd position into the final. So we'd be really looking to give it the maximum today, I think.
Give it the beans, yeah. Good to hear from Sean Bailey there, by the way. And as you've already said, really, really good to see Domin Skopic back, and with a big smile on his face. It's a sight we haven't seen that much of in 2017, and really nice to see him enjoying his climbing again. Ashima Shiraishi still low on the wall there, bottom right of his screen. Already used up 1 minute and 15 seconds. Domin, meanwhile, 4 minutes left for him, and making very fast progress through that lower section. Interesting to hear Sean Bailey talk about how complicated the route was as well. Boulder problem after boulder problem was how he described it.
And interestingly, Ashima then, just Anna Verhoeven's score came in. It's a score of 40. That's putting her in the current bronze medal position, just behind Julia Shonali of 40 plus. And it's Jessie Piltz still up there at the moment. Rwanda Grunge is currently sitting in the winner's seat for the men with that incredible burn, just a couple of holds off the top. Really exciting here. Looks like the route setters might have pitched this one just right. Oh, so strong from Ashima there. I think everybody just gasped a little bit there.
Yeah, the right hand did cut off, but only just. Almost as an afterthought, just peeled that right hand off.
It was barely a swing. No loss of body tension at all through that section. She's probably one of the shortest competitors here in the final, and big move out to left, no issues whatsoever. That was awesome. This is the move then that Anik Verhoeven really slowed down and really struggled with. Will Ashima find the right hand sequence through here? Domon's on board as well, starting his wrestle. Sean Bailey called them macro. That's just a term used for the volumes, different word in different countries. Volumes, macros, screw-ons, features. Ashima then pushing it out now, seems to find the same method as Anak. You can see the head just dip there, bit of tension across the shoulders, had to work quite hard for that move. Doman seems to have found himself in a pretty comfortable position there. Takes on some chalk, takes on the ability to have a rest, have a look up, look at the next section, and then start the sprint through this incredibly steep section now. It's so difficult for this next bit, and the power endurance really has to kick in. Ashima has a look round at the time as well. She's doing all right, 2 minutes 45.
Could be tight, could be tight. We shall see. It's still something that everybody's learning, this new 6-minute rule. Just got to set a bit of a different cadence, bit of a different pace.
Yeah, Ashima's probably known for being one of the slower climbers in the competition as well. Interestingly, out in Innsbruck, big wall there, she didn't have any problems with the time so much, so yeah, she's definitely taken that challenge on as well.
Half and half packed the routes in the route setter zone, nearly 50 moves on the women's route, 52 on the men's. Doman Scoffich, meanwhile, he's absolutely into the steepest section of this route, 47 plus the current high point. To give you some idea, that's basically the last move before the lip.
Yeah, that's hole 42 at the moment. We saw Ramon really firing through this section with great confidence. Domon's pumping so hard now, he's really fighting. Goes with the left hand. Ramon went with the right. You could see how hard Domon was fighting through there. Fantastic burn from here, and a big smile on his face as he comes down. Hopefully we'll get a chance to have a chat with him. That was a really good fight. That's what we want to see.
He looked absolutely worked though. I don't think he left anything on the wall. Let's have another quick look. He's just trying to readjust. Such a desperate position. You can see him just slapping his right leg, and he fell. It was quite a decent fall actually. Wasn't a million miles off coming straight back down.
I think that's the classic situation. If that route was that move was near the bottom of the route and he was fresh, he would have found that right foot that he needed to flip it up and find the exact right sequence. But you know, the mist had descended from the bump in his forearms. You know, he was absolutely going at it up there, and he gave it everything he could, and that was a really good fight. Ashima then, her competition is definitely on. She's heading up to hold 33 at the moment. She must be running short time. She's under a minute. She just checks the time there. You can see her just glance down. The big timing system is just at the bottom of the stage. She will be able to see that from where she is. Really needs to start firing now.
Crowd enjoying this. I know they're watching a prodigy of the climbing world, which is now into that complicated section of volumes. Complicated for the judges and the route setters and the climbers. As you can see, there's holds all over the place. She just needs to find a way to get through them all and onto that head wall. Lows out with the right hand. She's going to be timed out here, Ashima, before she can reach the high point, almost certainly. 15 seconds to go. She's going to have to climb so fast to stand a chance here. Reaches round with the right hand.
Yeah, that's if she controls that, and moves on. That's hold 40 plus. That'll put her into second place. Jessie Pill's high point is in danger here, but she's 3 seconds left. Like Charlie said, she is going to time out. This is going to be really disappointing. Nobody really wants to see this, but she's too slow to get to that point. Time is up. She probably doesn't know. Drops off now. That was a really good burn from Ashima. She was stronger than the route at the end of the day. Kai, you can barely get your breath. What it was like watching that.
It was a bit stressful. We knew she had limited amount of time, but we also knew that she could easily have gotten to the top of this climb. But, you know, unfortunately the clock wasn't on her side.
Just as we're having another look through the top section of Ashima, this is where she was out of time pretty much exactly at this point. She looked like she had a few more moves in the bank. We'll take this opportunity to have a chat with Anik Verhoeven.
Anak, really good to watch you climb, but just ran out of time, it seemed.
Oh yes, I knew that I didn't have a lot of time left, and that's why I started speeding up. And well, I know I would have climbed much more carefully, and I would have made the right decisions if I had much more time. So yeah, I wasn't tired yet. No, I could have done more, and I'm pretty disappointed.
When did you realise you were a bit short on time? It looked as if when you had about 2 minutes to go, you realised you needed to go a bit faster.
I think I knew it almost right from the beginning when I hesitated a bit for the jump, and then while climbing on the volumes, I just knew I had to speed up, but it's really difficult, and you just don't want to fall. I want to, well, just climb the whole route, and I wanted to speed up all the way, but once I was climbing the purple section, I could actually start speeding up more. That's what I tried, but it's still exciting, so you don't want to be too fast and make a mistake or slip off, so that's why I just tried to do my best, and right at the end I knew I only had a few seconds left, and that's why I wanted to continue, and I know my left foot wasn't on, and that's why I came off, but I didn't have any time left anyway.
Well, will we see you in a couple of weeks' time in China?
For sure.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to seeing you climb, and congratulations on today's performance. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Okay, thank you.
So the penultimate pair of climbers are out then. This final absolutely flying by. It's Jakob Schubert, who had a staggering semi-final round, one of only 2 climbers alongside Stefano Ghisolfi to find a top. He went through with incredible amounts of endurance. He just looked like he was warming up in the semi-final, so this is going to be really interesting from Jakob. He's out to win now. He won in Arco and would like to repeat the same again. And the absolute legend of the game, Jane Kim, starts her campaign on the right hand side, and with Ashima timing out Kai, I think this is going to get interesting now. Jane Kim also a slow climber.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend this season with some of the World Cups like in Arco that time has been a major issue for the athletes. I mean, with the 2-minute cut, like it's a big struggle because you have to change your training technique and how you prepare for these lead World Cups.
Well, and the walls themselves won't have actually effectively got 2 minutes shorter. You know, it's the same walls as last season, but 2 minutes less. But the route setters can adapt to the routes. You know, obviously they can cut down the moves. Interestingly, here Jakob's just having a little bit of a look, stalling out a little bit here from the rest.
Well, the issue is the more intricate the climbs are, the more time we have to spend on the wall figuring out the sequences.
Yeah, you can see that exactly here with Jakob.
Which means that that's time wasted from, you know, the 6 minutes that were allotted, which isn't enough to begin with. And so it almost kind of limits the route setters, because either you have an issue where the athletes time out because the routes are too long and intricate, or you have a route that's just too simple and it's not interesting for the crowd to watch. So
yeah, I mean, nobody wants to see a line of crimps that's 6 minutes effectively long.
Exactly.
So they've got an incredibly difficult job. You know, there's no getting away from it. It's a virtually impossible job. And Jakob Schubert having a real job here through this section as Jane Kim comes up through those panel edge crimps. And then let's see with Jane Kim on this big jump then, opts for the high foot. We saw that same technique for her in the semi-finals, where other climbers had to make a dynamic pop. She just gets her feet really high. But this is going to be really interesting now. She could struggle here. Jane Kim's going to have to really think about what she's doing here. I don't think she can go statically. She's looking at the static option. Jane Kim needs to fire big move off here. She'll do well to hold it. Oh, does well. So impressive. Jane Kim once again defies all expectations on a move.
Yeah, really nicely done from Jane Kim, and both Arco winners on the wall at the same time, Jakob and Jane Kim. This of course means that Roman de Grunge is guaranteed at least a podium. Jakob Schubert, the second to last climber out.
Yeah, Jesse Piltz also guaranteed a podium.
Yeah, Jesse Piltz still sitting in the winner's seat. I mean, I'm back and forth between our interview area and here, and yeah, Jesse Piltz still sitting there, enjoying watching the climbers come, and she'll know now that she's going to get at least a bronze medal.
Yeah, it's going to be critical for Jane Kim to get through this section quickly out to the right, and she does seem to have no hesitation at all there. If all things go to plan here, I think Jane Kim will really like this next section of holds. Quite consistent climbing, more regular style, as Jakob Schubert starts the wrestling match that is the men's route in this section of the final third of the route.
It's been great to see Jane Kim acclimate to the new time limits. I remember a time when she used to struggle with the 8-minute time limit, and now it's only 6. So it's great to see that she's sped up and adapted.
Great view there. Jakob Schubert in the foreground, Jane Kim in the background, and Jakob
Wow.
takes a massive fall down this Edinburgh wall. Yeah, that is a man that gave it everything.
He put in a really good fight there. I'm pretty sure that's going to put him into a provisional second place. He might have just passed Domon's position there. We'll see what the judges award him. Let's have another look. It's this funky section through here. Domon ended up going with the left hand. He's currently sitting in second. Jakob went with the right. Yeah, I think that might be a tied score there, but going through to countback, depending if it's a podium position or not, Jakob will be in a better position. All eyes now on Jean Kim then, with just under 2 minutes to spare, looking really solid here. She's up around hold 28 at the moment. Having no issues at all. There you can see that's the current winners looking up. Must be a tough position, Kai, to sit there. And what do you think? You want climbers to, they're all frenzy. You want them to perform well at the same time. You want to take away the first position. Must be tough.
Yeah, it can be at times, but I think, well, actually, not really. For me, I believe that it's a fight between myself and the wall. At least when I'm in that position. So as long as I climb my best, that's all that matters. And I can't control them, so I might as well root them one.
Jane Kim then looking super solid through this section, just shaking off the forearms, looking good. She's around hold 33 at the moment.
She could have timed this quite well. She's got a minute left, possibly a bit short on time, but if she figures out this sequence quite quickly and gets it done quite quickly, albeit that's not her natural style, but she could have enough time to do it here, Jane Kim, but she'll need to shift through these volumes. Already used up 20 of those 60 seconds.
Yeah, just reading the body language there when she went for the clip, she could really start to look like the panic was setting in a little bit. Time was really going to be an issue. 30 seconds left then, like Charlie said, she may have timed this one quite well. 30 seconds is quite a long time, really, in the grand scheme of things through this section. Jane Kim's pushing for a high point then. That's where Anneke Verhoeven came off. Comes off, she won't match. Jessie Pills' high point is intact. That was so close. It's going to be close to around a 41 plus, something like that, and Jessie Pills is still currently sitting well with 42. This is Jane Kim on the lower section. What an incredible move this was. Big smash out on the left and held it. Just as we have a look at the end of these replays, we'll have a chance to have a chat with Domen Skoffic after his incredible burn on the route.
Domen, you look like you really enjoyed yourself up there.
Oh yeah, I did, for sure.
And when you came down, I said to you, you looked tired, and you said, my whole body was pumped.
Yeah, it wasn't the arms that were really pumped, but the whole body, because the whole route is like holding the wood, you know, like pressing. I mean, like how do you say the
keeping the body tension.
The woodman, you know, like that, taking the wood out of the woods, you know, like it was so hard. Yeah, it's so hard.
But your kind of route, lots of bouldering moves, quite varied, it seemed.
Yeah, a lot of boulder moves, especially the part with the underclings, with those like water spheres. It was really hard, and yeah, the rest was actually after the ball and stuff you could recover a bit, but still the moves after were really body tiring. Like, I got pumped in the hands, but it was more like, I don't know, the body gave up. But I'm super happy with my climb, yeah.
Well, hey, it was great to see you climbing again and with a big smile on your face. Enjoyed watching you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Thank you.
Good to hear from Doffen as our final climber out. Stefano Ghisolfi. See if he can take the body pump. Can he take the pain and push for the win? Romain de Grunge guaranteed a podium.
Yeah, Romain de Grunge guaranteed a... Oh, sorry, just get my breath back. It's quite a long way to the interview area. Romain de Grunge guaranteed second, yeah. Jakob Schubert also guaranteed a podium, and the man I've just spoken to, Domen Skoffic, currently sitting in third place.
Janja Garnbrett starts her campaign then. So many successes for her. Jessie Pills, and it is 42 plus. Jane Kim dropped into second place with that incredible burn, 41 plus, and it's Ashima who's currently sitting there in the bronze position with a 41. Janja Garnbrett here has it to win here.
Yeah, Ashima could claim her first senior IFSC medal. Will if things stay as they are, but it's a very familiar scenario. Janja Garnbrett walking out last in a lead final with all the pressure on. And she generally seems to deal with it extremely well.
Yeah, there's been a few really interesting interviews with Janja recently in the wider climbing media, just the way that she can come out time and time again and just deal with the stress of coming out last and come out and win the competition. Stefano Ghisolfi, he was in this position, coming out to attempt to win, coming out last. This is the position he was in Chamonix. Didn't work out quite so well for him there.
No, he was 7th there, 3rd in Briançon the week after, and a disappointing 18th in his home World Cup of Arco. As I said, won in Xiamen last year. We'll be back there in 3 weeks' time.
Janja Garnbret having a look at this first kind of real resistance move out to the left-hand side. Hopefully there'll be no issues. Oh, big swing, ends up catching it as a double catch. That was a real heart-in-your-mouth moment there. Kai's nearly fallen off his chair next to us.
That was the sound of Kai Leitner tailing. That was tight. That was close.
Was a terrifying move. Oh.
Yeah, it went full commitment from Janja Garnbret. Certainly, if the nerves are affecting it, certainly not showing it. That was absolutely full bore climbing. So Stefano Ghisolfi, is he heading for another win here? He's got 2 minutes left. I think time could again for him become an issue. And with 2 minutes left, lot of moves, a lot of physical moves, where you just need to stabilise and after each move. You can't just rattle through these. You need to stop and slow down and reassess. So we'll keep an eye on his time. He's currently got 1 minute 40 left on the clock. 3:50 for Janja.
Final climbers out there, and a good show so far. Unfortunately, the time has been a bit of a factor in the women's competition. But Romain de Grunge put in an incredible burn when he came out quite early on in the finals. Yet to be beaten. He was only 3 moves off the top of the wall. Stefano Ghisolfi taking an opportunity to chalk up and shake out, but with only 1 minute left. He's obviously feeling the burn a little bit here. That's what we heard from Domen Skoffic. His whole body was just getting wrecked going through those volumes, and he just needs to take some recovery here. He obviously knows it's short time, at the same time he knows he's short of power left in the body. This is going to be crucial now. This is for podiums.
Yeah, really getting into the business of this, Stefano Ghisolfi. He's got 50 seconds left. Could be timed out if he's not too careful, but I think he can reach and surpass Romain de Gronge's high point within time. However, it is going to be close. Crosses through with his right hand.
Yeah, 2 moves short of where Jakob Schubert currently sits in the silver medal, and he's off. Big fight there. We'll see where that ends up. It could be 42 rather than a 42 plus. It's probably not going to be enough for a podium. So the final climber of this competition, and every single pair of eyes in the building here in Rapho is on Janja Garnbret once again.
So that is the men's competition decided. Romain de Gronge wins again. 3rd World Cup win of the season. The man's on fire. He's been sitting in that winner's chair for, it's felt like quite a long time. He actually climbed 4th. He's watched 4 climbers come and go, and nobody has matched or beaten his high point. Romain de Gronge will win here in Edinburgh. Extraordinary performance. Meanwhile, Janja Garnbret, all eyes on her. The spotlight is on her. 2 minutes to go.
Janja Garnbret then up to move 32, 49 to go, 49 moves in total, 49 to go, not sure about that. And that'll be a very, very long route. Janja Garnbret then looking to take away the win, looking okay on time, not great but not too bad. 1 minute 30 just over left, and manufacturing a very decent rest here. Janja Garnbret could be on, she's got to be on for a podium here at least, surely. Can she knock Jessie Pills off the top?
She absolutely smashed the women's semi-final route, which no one else really ventured onto the upper section of, and she's looking in control here, but it is so physical around this black volume. It's so pumpy. Domen Skoffic has just said his body was pumped on the men's route. The women's route not dissimilar. You're hugging these big black volumes, and they're covered in tiny bolt-on holes. You've got to read it correctly and execute it correctly.
Yeah, she just looked at her time, so she knows she has only a minute left.
Interesting enough, chooses to rest for a tiny bit longer as well. Janja clearly feels like she needs a bit more power in the arms before she commits onto this section.
Janja Garnbret then uses the left hand, goes back, has a refit, and then makes a big move out onto the left. Now she's on board this section of volumes, super steep, and this is what it's going to take now to get through, take away the win. Can Janja Garnbret do it?
She really needs to shift now. She's only got 25 seconds left on the clock. She's chalking up. She doesn't really have time for any of this. She's got to keep moving. The crowd getting right behind her. They're going absolutely crazy. She gets the heel hook. She needs to set herself. She hasn't got time to rest like this. This is going to be so tight. The crowd are yelling at her. I don't think she realises. She's out of time, Janja Garnbret. Oh, this is going to be so tight. The judges are going to have their work cut out here. I'm pretty sure that's her time up. Janja is going to be timed out. The time is up. Where was she when the time went? Time is up. Janja's still fighting and falls through the air in front of this Edinburgh crowd, but where was she when the time ran out?
Just looking at the scores now, and so close. Hold 42 was the left one on the second of those black volumes. I was trying to look at the hold and at the time exactly the same time. That is going to be an absolute nightmare to work out from the judges' point of view. So close to whether she won or not. Jessie Piltz must be sitting there so nervously waiting. Who knows? I can't tell it from here.
Yeah, it's going to be really close.
So the judges have got a big decision to make here, because it's such a complicated section of the route and they need to figure out where she was when that time elapsed. Jessie Piltz must be in pieces watching this. Poor old Jessica Piltz. All she can do is watch. Same with Janja. Let's see. As soon as our score comes through, we'll let you know. We're all waiting here.
Desperate scenes here in Edinburgh, so close. It looked like the route in the end, unfortunately, in the women's route was affected by time. Kai, it's really interesting. He felt like Jane Kim could have gone more. So we have Annette Verhoeven. She felt like the time was a big issue, and Janja Garnbret seemed to, she could have got the top there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the time is definitely the athlete's enemy for this season. Yeah, just the wall is really tall and it's hard to set intricate sequences because we have to have time to figure them out.
There you see it, the results have come in. Here is Janja Garnbret, takes it away, a score of 42. I mean, that must have been slow-mo replays to see that one.
Wins it on count back to the semi-finals, Janja Garnbret. We will grab a word with her before we go off air. Jessica Piltz, same score as Janja, but beaten to second by count back. Jane Kim takes third, following up her gold medal from Marco. Shiraishi just knocked off the podium in fourth, and Julia Shonali, Annette Verhoeven in sixth, Hannah Slaney and Tina Johnson-Hafsas, the rest of the top eight.
Into the men's competition then, it was the Frenchman Romain de Grunge, once again far and away the best climber on the night, 47 plus. Stefano Ghisolfi, fantastic burn from him, and it was 42 plus 3 times in a row. Jakob Schubert takes away the bronze. Domen Skofic also fantastic, 42 plus. He takes the fourth position. Great competition in the men's. Quite a few ties there around the same move. That's tough. I don't think the route setters could have done much about that realistically. It's just the line is so fine. It's unreal.
Yeah, the route team pretty sustained, so they could have never predicted the fact that everyone will follow the same move. They're all
extraordinary. Yeah, extraordinary women's final. So to interrupt you there, Kai. Just wanted to explain what's going on the screen here. Climbers Against Cancer are making it a £25,000 donation to the British Columbian Cancer Foundation. They've developed the first drug that's showing promise for curing the type of cancer that John Ellison, of course, the founder of Climbers Against Cancer, had. So this is Climbers Against Cancer making a £25,000 donation. That is Shauna Coxey handing over the cheque.
Yeah, great scenes. And John Ellison, he would have loved it here today. He loves coming to Edinburgh, he loves coming to RAFO, and was just great friends of so many people in the IFSC and all the competitors. Really great scene there. £25,000. That would be very well spent, hopefully.
Yeah, I met him when I was 13 years old at my first Youth Worlds, and he was so nice. He was taking portraits of us, and he told us that he didn't have a lot of time, and somehow in my head I doubted that, and he did last a few years, but it's really sad every time you see the CAC symbol because it reminds us of him. But it's glad that the organization is contributing so much to cancer research.
So If you just joined in, unfortunately you've missed it all. That was the Lead World Cup final here in Edinburgh. Fantastic finals it was. Lots of talking points, time being one of them. Joint scores in the men's, and winners once again, Ramon de Grunge and Jan Gambret. They take away the gold medals. Jan Gambret's doing high fives around the arena. We will try and get a chat with her as soon as we can. See there, just the lights descend here in Edinburgh. And we look forward to talking to our winner once again. Fantastic scene here. It's Janja Gambret.
Janja, once again, another amazing moment. When did you realise how close you were to running out of time? We saw you looking down at the clock.
First I checked the clock when it was 7 seconds. And I was like, oh, I got to climb fast. It was so quick, I didn't even realize the pump. So yeah, and then I didn't hear just the move I felt. I didn't hear that commentator said I ran out of time, but I still wanted to top. So then I was like, okay, maybe I'm third or so, because it was not like super hard. It was like just endurance and pumping. So I thought maybe someone else would like climb really well.
And it seems like if it's count back to the semi-final or you timed out on one move and you just make it, seems like you always find a way. Why do you think you always have that luck?
I know. I guess all the luck I have now will pay sometime in the future. So maybe one day I won't be that lucky. So I should enjoy it now.
I think you should, but I also think you make your own luck. Amazing performance again. Thank you for talking to us, and well done. Another gold medal.
Thank you so much.
And I've just sprinted over from the interview box. It's been a breathless final here, including that finale there with Janja Gambret. Very glad we got to speak to her though. Kai, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Really enjoyed your company, and what a final.
Yeah, it was amazing, and thanks for having me.
And Mike, thank you for all your help in Europe this season. Unfortunately, you're not joining us in China, but we'll hopefully see you in Slovenia in November.
Yeah, it's been absolutely staggering, my first season here at the IFSC. Loved every minute of it, and today's final, yeah, interesting finals, I would say. Say no more. I'm sure you've heard enough.
It's been a fantastic day here in Edinburgh. Do stay with us, we will be live streaming the podiums, but that's all from us in the commentary box. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in China in a couple of weeks' time.
So check that out. Ask and you shall receive. That podium that I was just talking about, the spotlights on it, that podium was actually used in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. For the swimming podium, I believe, this is a moment for everyone. Thank you. People in the front. You guys need to be there next time. Get your little tutus and pom-poms. Also, I'd like to just point out that Jesse, who was the first climber out, said that the route was too easy. It's possible with attention for a gold medal, but we need to find out who's alright. respective event, please congregate immediately beneath the speed wall. Repeat, could any athletes that have made podium in their respective disciplines, please congregate beneath the speed wall. And now in German, just as you can't speak German. All sorts of good stuff coming in. Goodie bags, awards, medals. Could all athletes that made the podium in any of their disciplines, all athletes that made the podium, please go to the speed wall, which is that big one there. If you're not sure if you made the podium, go anyway, just in case. They'll tell you whether you did it or not. If you don't get on the podium, I think you're getting shot. Something very extreme. Maybe it's the red card or the yellow card. Yeah, man. Not tired. Can I get a whoop or a cheer if you took a photo of that final? Oh, I'll see it. Can I get a whoop or a cheer if you took a video of the final? If you post those on social media, make sure you use the hashtag IFSCWC or hashtag EICAWC17. Can I get a pen and write it down? IFSCWC or EICAWC17. You got that? And yeah, just stick them online. Share the experience, share your impressions, so that everybody in the world who is watching, that's a lot of people, they get to see the awesome event that Edinburgh put on. And it was awesome, wasn't it? Just a casual note, right? Taking pictures of my microphone.
My name is Stefano Ghisolfi. I'm from Turin, but I live in Arco now. I'm 23 years old and I'm a professional climber. I was good until the beginning when I started climbing, but I don't know why. I started climbing at 11 years old and I just feel good in this sport. Before I used to go biking, but I wasn't that good. So I feel good climbing. I felt the first time light, I felt comfortable and I just like it. Winning a competition is everything about details. Everything you eat, how much you sleep, how good you sleep in the night before, and how good was your training in your months before or the previous year. Everything, every detail is important for a victory. I like climbing during a competition because it's always a challenge with the others. That my opponents are also my friends, and I like climb outside too because there are no pressure against the others, but just is a more relaxing thing. And sometimes it's stressful too because there is the pressure about the route and about the challenge with yourself. But I like both competing and climbing outside. I moved to Arco because there are a lot of rock climbing, a lot of crags here for climbing, and a lot of gym and new possibility for training too. And also because it's a beautiful place, it's near the lake, there are a lot of mountains. I think there is everything here, and it's not a big city, so also I think living is better here. Now I'm in Arco, so I'm closer to Austria and Germany. So I'd like to visit also Austria and Franken-Jura maybe. It is closer here than Turin, so I would like to visit a lot of new places for me and also move around the world, and maybe Spain and Catalonia is the best place maybe for climbing in the winter. So I think this winter I will go in Catalonia for a bit. And then some other places for me. I didn't climb in a lot of places, so everything is new for me. I don't know when my career will stop. I hope I will be good enough to compete in the Olympics in 4 years, and maybe in the next Olympics in 8 years, and maybe then I will be old enough to stop competing. I don't know yet.
Rock climbing, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Italy, Alessandra Mami. Alessandra Mami, ladies and gentlemen, and the silver medalist representing Italy, Martina Pellegra. gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh Paraclimbing Cup, Edinburgh 2017, representing Slovenia, Tanja Glusic. Ladies, please take the podium. Ladies, on you go. Hop on. I don't speak Slovenian or Italian. Ladies and gentlemen, your female podium. Fabrizio Menino presented the medals. Martina Palandra, and of course the gold medalist Tanja Glusic. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Slovenia. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Women's B3 Visual Impairment category. So the ladies will make their way back over to the area. And now, please welcome the medalists for the men's AL2 category. The medals will be presented by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the Italian Federation, International Federation of Sport Climbing, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Great Britain, Phil Mitchell. Silver medalist representing Spain, Ivan Germán Pascual. And gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh Men's AL2 category, representing France, Julien Gasque. Gentlemen, please take the podium. Bravo, Ivan. Julien Gasque, ladies and gentlemen.
gold medalist here in Edinburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 men's AL2 medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the medalists for the AU2 forearm amputee category. The medals were presented by Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the IFSC, and Mr. Lindsay Renwick, Head of Operations and Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Spain, Ismael Ewan, Sanchez McElroy. Silver medalist representing Great Britain, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Phillips. Gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh Paraclimbing Cup, Edinburgh 2017. Men's AU2 category, representing Germany, Kevin Barker. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Germany. Once again, a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 men's AU2 forearm amputee medalists. Please welcome the medalists for the men's visual impairment B2 category. The medals were presented by Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Renwick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Spain, Francisco Javier Aguilar Amuedo. Silver medalist representing the United States of America, Justin Salas. Gold medalist and winner of the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Men's Visual Impairment B2 category, representing Italy, Matteo Stefani! Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Men's Visual Impairment B2 medalists. Good work. Amazing work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the medalists for the men's RP1 category. Again, the medals will be presented by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Germany, Sebastian Debke. Silver medalist representing Germany, Niels Helsberg. Gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh Paraclimbing Cup Men's RP1 category, representing Israel, Mo Michael Sapir. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, once more a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Men's RP1 medalists. Amazing work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the medalists for the men's RP2 category. Medals will be presented again by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, technical delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, head of operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Israel, Nimrod Mugsah. Silver medalist representing Germany, Peter Kunze. Gold medalist and winner of the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh Men's RP2 category, representing Israel, Niv Porat. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Israel. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Men's RP2 medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the medalists for the Women's RP2 category. The medals will be presented by Fabrizio Menino, technical delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, head of operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist, representing Great Britain, Anita Agarwal. Silver medalist, also representing Great Britain, Hannah Baldwin. Gold medalist and winner of the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017, representing the United States of America, Maureen Beck. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, once more a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Women's RP2 medalists. Nice, Hannah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the medalists for the men's RP3 category. Medals will be presented by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the International Federation of Sport Climbing, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Great Britain, Mikey Cleverden. Silver medalist representing Slovenia, Gregor Silak. Gold medalist and winner of the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh men's RP3 category, representing France, Mathieu Besnard. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 men's RP3 medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the medalists for the women's RP3 category. Medals will be presented by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the International Federation of Sport Climbing, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing France, Lucie Shiraishi. Silver medalist representing the United States of America, Jillian Yatzko. Gold medalist and winner of the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Women's RP3 category. Representing Belgium, Elodie Orban. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Belgium. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge applause for the Paraclimbing Cup Edinburgh 2017 Women's RP3 medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the IFSC Speed World Cup, Edinburgh 2017. Please welcome the medalists for the speed climbing women. Medals will be presented by Mr. Fabrizio Menino, Technical Delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, Head of Operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Russia, Yulia Kaplina. Silver medalist representing Russia, Maria Krasavina. Gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh IFSC Lead World Cup, Speed World Cup 2017, representing France, Anouk Jobert. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big applause for the IFSC Speed World Cup medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the medalists for the speed climbing men. Medals will be presented by Fabrizio Menino, technical delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Lindsay Rennick, head of operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Italy, Leonardo Gontero. Silver medalist representing Russia in his 55th World Cup, Stanislav Kokorin. Gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh IFSC Speed World Cup 2017, representing Italy, Ludovico Fossale. Ladies and gentlemen, just hold your horses. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big applause for the IFSC Speed World Cup medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the IFSC Lead World Cup Edinburgh 2017. Please welcome the medalists for the lead climbing women. Medals will be presented by Fabrizio Menino, technical delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Lindsay Rennick, head of operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Korea, Jane Kim. Silver medalist representing Austria, Jessica Piltz. Gold medalist and winner of the Edinburgh IFSC Lead Women's World Cup 2017, representing Slovenia, Janja Gonbret. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Slovenia. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge round of applause for the IFSC Lead Women's World Cup medalists! And now, the victory ceremony for the medalists for the lead climbing men. Medals will be presented by Fabrizio Menino, technical delegate of the IFSC, accompanied by Mr. Lindsay Rennick, head of operations of Edinburgh Leisure. Bronze medalist representing Austria, Jakob Schubert. Silver medalist representing Italy, Stefano Ghisolfi. Gold medalist and winner of the IFSC Lead World Cup 2017, representing France in his 100th World Cup, Romain de Grunge. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France. Ladies and gentlemen, once more for your lead finalists, the medalists. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the award ceremony. A big round of applause for all of our competitors here in Edinburgh. We do, of course, have our raffle now, so don't leave just yet.